People are drawn to Souls-likes for a variety of reasons. They're fun, they're challenging, filled with lore, and addicting progression. And I would be lying if I said that the gaming industry wasn't already oversaturated with these types of games. Lies of P is a brand new action RPG, and if you've been a part of this channel for a while, you already know how much I love these types of games. Lies of P is the best Souls-like I've ever played that's not developed by From Software. Let's first talk about the story. Lies of P is a dark reimagining of a story that most of us are probably already familiar with. In this game, you do play as Pinocchio, not to be mistaken with Disney's Pinocchio. No, this Pinocchio story is much darker and set in a dangerous world where Pinocchio has to fight for his life, discover what's wrong with the people and puppets in the city of Krat, and most importantly, find a way to become human. You'll see lots of familiar names in Lies of P. You have Geppetto, the creator of the puppets and the father of Pinocchio. You have Gemini, which is actually a talking lamp that narrates most of the story for you, and also the blue-haired Sophia, which helps you level up your character. Your main goal in Lies of P is to track down Geppetto and find out what's causing all of the puppets in the city to act out relentlessly. Everything is so familiar, but so different at the same time. The story is very interesting and helps a lot with the immersion and world building. Next, let's talk about the graphics. So the gameplay footage that you see on screen right now is captured on a 4080 Ti i9 processor running at ultra max settings. So to be fair, these are the best possible graphics you can achieve in Lies of P, and to be honest, compared to other Souls games, this one actually looks really good and just feels like it has a way higher budget in terms of graphical fidelity and just overall detail in the open world. One thing you will definitely notice without a doubt, at least this is what I felt, Lies of P's visuals immediately make you think of Bloodborne. It just feels like Bloodborne and gives you the same vibe. Everything about the environment, the way the enemies play, and it's been a while since I've played a Souls game that felt like Bloodborne. So the performance on PC was great. I was able to run at a steady 60 frames per second, running at 4K settings, no screen tears, hardly any frame drops, so overall, huge thumbs up for the PC optimization. Now, even though Lies of P isn't the greatest looking game ever, it still has a lot going for it. I mean, I was seriously blown away by some of the boss designs in Lies of P. Particle effects are top tier, and when you see everything on screen just mesh together, it's awesome. Next, let's talk about the gameplay. Those who are familiar with this genre will immediately recognize the combat. Every enemy is a threat, and even the most harmless looking enemies are able to kill you in a couple hits. The formula altogether is going to be pretty much similar to every other Souls game that you've played. Lies of P is a linear game where all the levels are linked between shortcuts, bosses. Each area is distinct in its look. Every area contains different types of enemies, and similar to the bonfires in Dark Souls, Lies of P has stargazers in each area that you can go to replenish your resources, refill on your health potions, and teleport to different locations. For example, Hotel Krat, where you can go level up your character, upgrade your weapons. The leveling system is also very similar to other games. There's specific attributes. Different types of weapons are going to scale differently depending on which attributes you prioritize. Overall, the gameplay loop is going to feel incredibly familiar, but that's okay. Lies of P isn't really trying to reinvent the wheel with anything. I think they're really trying to just separate themselves with the story, the world building, and some of the gameplay mechanics. It's no surprise, but the combat is my favorite thing about Lies of P. The game is very brutal and extremely unforgiving, okay? This is by no means a easy game. Honestly, it's one of the more difficult Souls-like games, but that's okay with me. I love that. I want the game to be challenging. It feels more rewarding to me, but not everybody is going to feel the same way, right? Some of the boss fights and even some of the enemies in the areas that you go to are incredibly difficult to kill, but most of the time the rewards that you get for actually killing them are worthwhile. The combat consists of light attacks, heavy attacks, fable arts, which are basically specific abilities tied to specific weapons, throwables, and items that help you infuse your weapons with status effects, for example, shock, fire, decay. The most compelling thing about Lies of P, though, is P is actually a weapon himself. Your left arm is a prosthetic similar to Sekiro. You can transform it into a flamethrower, shield, cannon, and when you unlock extra abilities for P, you get to sit in a Frankenstein chair that lets you upgrade specific stats and actions. For example, increasing your health potions, or even increasing the amount of time an enemy is staggered when you hit them with a heavy attack. What I really enjoy though is the weapon assembly system. This system allows you to take apart specific weapons and mix and match handles and blades to create your own type of weapon. For example, early on in the game, I killed a police puppet that dropped a police baton. I already had a sword, and when I assembled my weapon, I used the handle of the baton, but the blade on my sword, which unlocked a completely new moveset for my weapon. There's so many different blades, so many different handles, and I can see myself sinking hundreds of hours into the game just creating new builds using different types of weapons. In terms of replayability, it's really going to depend on what you're looking to get out of this game. For example, you may just want to buy the game, beat it once, and never play it again, which is okay considering the main story can take you anywhere from 30 to 50 hours. But you have people like me that want to beat the game so I can experience the end game, play New Game Plus, make new builds, craft new weapons, try new things. Lies of P also has several different endings, which is another reason to replay the game. If you were able to clock in hundreds of hours into Bloodborne, Dark Souls, I don't think you'll have any issue at all clocking those hours into Lies of P. This game is awesome and it just feels great. In conclusion, I think Lies of P is one of the best Souls-like games we've gotten in a long time. Everything about the game feels like Bloodborne, and if you're looking for a game to give you that feeling that you got way back when you played Bloodborne for the first time, this game is it. The storytelling is rich, it's interesting, the world is designed very well, shortcuts, and plenty of secrets to discover. The customization overall feels fantastic, giving you plenty of freedom to decide what type of fighter you want to be and what type of combat style you want to use. To be honest, Lies of P does feel like a big game. This game is a must play for Souls fans, and hopefully after you guys watch this video, you can come back and let me know how you felt about the game. Lies of P releases officially on September 19th for PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, and also PC. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you want to see more videos just like this one, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a thumbs up on this video if you enjoyed, and lastly, don't forget to turn on those bell notifications so you are notified every time I drop a new video.